I think we're on now. Hello, everybody. Um, my name is Xenia, and I am the international officer for Europe, um, East Africa, Zimbabwe, and the Americas. I'm sorry about the delay. We were just having a technical issue. I hope you can see me and also hear me. Can somebody please post in the chat just to confirm whether you can see or hear me? Anyone? There's a chat window on your right hand side. If you can please post something on there to confirm that you can hear me. I can see. Oh, that's great. We can see and hear. That's perfect. Right. So apologies for that because this is the first time I'm using this platform. So I'm just gonna try and share the screen. Can any of you see the presentation on your screen? Or is it just myself that you can see? I have a feeling that it's just myself. So I'm just going to find the presentation quickly. Okay. That should do it. Here we go. Right. Yes, great. So, okay, so let's crack on with the presentation because we have a lot to cover. And due to the technical issue we had, I lost my colleague who cannot log in, unfortunately, and support the presentation with me. So it's going to be me doing the whole thing. So apologies. Right. So first of all, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to this information session for offer holders. So please ignore this slide. So it is just myself here today. Kate cannot join. So what will happen today is I'll present um, most of the practical information relating to your studies with us. So I will cover a variety of aspects, things like Northampton Town and how to get there, information about the facilities and services and support that we have for our students, student life, and also some of the money matters, so student budgets and things like that. And of course, to the end of the presentation, we will move with the next steps. So what's required of you at this stage up until enrollment. Okay. So after the presentation, please feel free to ask as many questions as you wish. So you should be able to post those on the chats like you would now. Just please bear in mind that I cannot monitor the chat. Um, I cannot monitor the chat as well as present. So okay, I've just checked the chat and it says that I'm not hearing. Can someone else confirm whether you can hear me okay? Anyone else? Can you all hear me? I can hear. Okay, so someone can hear. That's good. If you can't hear, you can hear. That's good. Okay, so if you can't hear, if you can't, let me just post that in for the person who couldn't hear. If you can't hear, then log out and log back in again. Okay. Right. So hopefully the person who couldn't hear can now see this and log out and log back in. In the meantime, we'll crack on with the presentation. So a recording of this, yeah, good. Well done. Okay. Great. So sorry for rushing things in, but we've only got 50 more minutes left, so we lost a bit. So recording of the presentation will be sent to you, will be emailed to you after the session. So don't worry about writing any notes or anything like that. Right. So I'll crack on the presentation with the quick introduction to our location and the lovely town of Northampton, which is an ideal base for international students. So our historic and friendly town of Northampton lies conveniently within the heart of England. Hopefully you can see all those lovely red arrows pointing into where we are. So it's just an hour traveling distance from Birmingham in the north, or London south, Oxford and Cambridge either side. It's easily reached from 5 international airports and has excellent rail and road links to all parts of the UK and Europe. So very easy to get around out and about. So our students have said before that Northampton has a really lovely English town feel with old churches, traditional buildings, but there's also plenty of things to do for students, plenty to explore, for people that are sport fans, culture or history lovers, foodies, socialize, etc. It's also surrounded by a very, very beautiful, picturesque countryside for those outdoor lovers, such as myself, for example. Northampton is not a big place. As a student, you will find everything you need to have a complete student experience. The campus itself is based on the picturesque river with a marina and town centre right on its doorstep. You can get to just about everything by foot from our campus. So to the town centre with all the food and drink and sports and culture and shopping and entertainment. Northampton has everything that you would need, as I said. So it is actually a traditional old town that has a rich, long history, 900 years heritage in leather and boot making. So important industrial and leather manufacturing center of the UK. We also one of the only universities in Europe to teach a leather production course and to have their own working leather tannery on site. So that's just a fun fact for you to know about Northampton. Northamptonshire is actually known for having one of the most beautiful countryside. There are miles of walks, beautiful country parks that you can see here on the pictures, stately homes to explore, numerous pretty villages, with the traditional thatched cottages, canals, woodlands. So lots and lots to do in your spare time. Northampton is also a home to some popular attractions, some UK attractions as well as local attractions. So um, Northampton Guildhall is an important governmental building and is featuring on a lot of our sort of brochures and presentations, and you have seen some of the pictures there before as well. Althorpe House and Estate, home to Princess Diana Spencer family for almost 500 years, and also is the final resting place of Princess Diana. So it's sort of open for visitors a few months a year, I believe, during summertime. So our students tend to go and visit it if they can. Silverstone Racetracks, the home to British Formula One Grand Prix. If any of you are interested in this major global event that is coming to the UK every year. Abington Park is a lovely a parkland that dates back to medieval times, so it's perfect relaxing place, to explore with your friends and course mates. Rushden Lakes, it's a lovely shopping and leisure destination for all your shopping needs. Brixworth Church, Northamptonshire, um, oldest, not just Northamptonshire, it's one of the oldest and most important buildings of any kind in England. It's an oldest Saxon church in the UK. This is where I got married as well, so fond memories. 78 Derngate is the only house in England designed by Charles Rennie Mackintosh, which is a famous Scottish architect known for the Art Nouveau designs, and many more. So Castle Ashby, Northampton Museum. So, as I said, a lot to do for our students. When they have spare time and weekends, etc. So the getting there, quite important. Majority of you will arrive on a plane and will land in London Heathrow Airport. And there are numerous ways you can travel to Northampton. It should take approximately an hour to an hour and a half by pre-arranged taxi, or about 2.5 hours by the National Express coach that you can pre-book the tickets to. Alternatively, you can travel from Heathrow to central London on Heathrow Express. There you can catch the regular trains that run in between between London and Birmingham. Northampton is a stop, it's a third stop, I believe, on the London North Western Railway, and should take about an hour, so 53 minutes to be exact. So you should plan to book your travel ahead. We recommend a couple of taxi companies that are based in Northampton if you prefer that mode of transport. However, public transport will be much cheaper. So, a coach or a train ticket might be preferable. So when you get to Northampton train station, again, it's very easy to get to campus. So it's only 1 mile from Waterside campus. So it's about, I would say, 10 to 15-minute walk, or a 5 to 8 minute cycle. Or if you don't fancy walking, you can catch a frequent bus that runs from our park and ride, sort of in the outskirts of the town, into the town centre and the campus as well. So hopefully that's quite clear. Let me just quickly check if there are any here and now. Good. Okay. So the next step, campus. Quick introduction to the campus. I mean, hopefully, majority of you would have already explored the campus by now. There's a fantastic 360-degree tour where you can go on and view all the facilities. Let me see. So hopefully that will run now. A little video to showcase the facilities for you. So Waterside campus is called Waterside because of its location on the banks of beautiful river Nen that runs through Northampton. It's newly built and opened in 2018. It's designed to kind of meet the needs of our students and to meet the teaching model that we deliver. So kind of technologically equipped campus. It's based in the heart of the town, so like I said, short walk from the town center. So very, very convenient. And it's a campus that is open to the community. So it's at the heart of the community. It's sensitive to its surroundings. It's accessible, with various cycle routes linking the town centre and De Lapre Park, that's right next to us. It's designed to promote sustainable travel modes, so we don't recommend the students have cars. That we don't really have parking spaces on campus, so it's mainly our buses. There are scooters that you can rent. There are bicycles or walk. Everything is in a walkable distance, so you don't have to worry about that. So, oh, in terms of the facilities, they are fairly open 24 hours, 7 days a week, especially the library that you will be using, and the some of the IT suites. We have sport facilities, sport pavilion with specialist labs for those sport courses that we offer. We have sport dome for indoor sporting activities. We have multi-purpose courts, and all-weather pitches for the outdoor sports as well. We have Engine Shed, which is the home to our student union, and that's where sort of all the student-facing services are based. There's a cafe and social space, and this is where you would go to register with the club or society. We have Student Village with rooms for about 1,000 students on campus. And the Student Village has the laundrette, the health center, multi-faith chaplaincy, convenience store and post office. You'll also find several coffee shops and restaurants that serve breakfast and lunches. I think the main fancy coffee shop called Waterside on here on the picture. Oh, I forgot to press the play button. So that actually also serves dinner, so sort of fancy, more kind of out dinner. Um, there's also a hotel on campus, and it's quite perfect for if you come with your parents or friends, and if they want to stop by whilst you're settling in those first few days of arriving to campus. As I said, it's easy to get to campus, so bus service, a walk, cycle, or e-scooters all available for you. Oh, let me move the slide. So a few pictures just to see the example of interior if you haven't yet explored the virtual tour. So you can see the library, the atriums, classrooms. A point about classrooms, we don't really have large lecture theatres. I think there's only one lecture theatre on campus. So that is simply because the way we teach, it's a lot more modern, a lot more practical. So it's more about workshops, seminars, and interacting with your tutor and peers. So it's in a closer setting. Right, where I am, and a few examples of social and sports entertainment facilities that I've mentioned earlier as well. Student support, very important topic that I wanted to cover. Choosing your university and starting university life is a big step, and we're here to ensure that your time at UON is as enjoyable and as rewarding as possible. We have a range of support services that you see here on the screen. So our international student support service is the main dedicated service for international students only, and they're there to help you with all aspects of life at UON as an international student. So they'll help you settle in and adjust when you first arrive. They'll organize your international orientation week with a variety of practical and face-to-face activities to kind of show you around the campus, show you around the town, help register with a bank, help register with a GP surgery, so your health center. They do things like money management talks, day trips, etc. So they also offer a visa application advice. So if any of you are applying for your student visa yourselves without support from any educational consultancies, for example, then ISS team is here to answer any queries and guide you through the process if you need some help. So they also will help you transition from the student visa uh, to the graduate visa once you have completed your course with us. So Changemaker Hub, it's our award-winning employability and career service, and I will cover it in a bit more detail in a minute. Residential Life Team is on hand 24 hours, 7 days a week, exists for students who are probably living in our halls more than anything else, and it exists to provide the pastoral support together with information, advice, problem, conflict resolutions, etc. So they're there to support your time in the halls. We have safety and security and campus police team to keep you safe and help to feel safe on campus. We have learning development services and dedicated faculty academic librarians, and these teams are there to support your academic development throughout your time with us. They offer a variety of workshops, one-to-one tutorials, drop-in sessions, peer-to-peer support, as well as a wealth of online study guides and resources for you to use. Personal academic tutor or personal tutor, um, they will be allocated to each and every student at the start of the year, and they will be there to help you achieve your ambitions, your secure work placement, guide you to your academic success, or just have a confidential talk about something that's important to you or something that's worrying you. They'll be in touch with you on a regular basis throughout the academic year to see how you're getting on. But you are also encouraged to get in touch with them if something crops up, rather than wait until you're in crisis, so to speak. Multi-faith chaplaincy. It's a great service that provides pastoral and spiritual support for students of all faiths or none, regardless of belief, sexuality, or gender. Again, so good listening ear. Financial guidance team is a good nifty team that is available for you to find out any information about the type of funding that may be available to you, or if you're having difficulty managing your money, they'll be able to kind of run through that with you as well, or if you have any financial concerns. So they're there for that. And we have additional student support and inclusion services team, or I assist for short. Um, that this team helps obtain appropriate support and reasonable adjustments for students with any sort of either physical, mental disabilities or specific learning differences. And last but not least, our Wellbeing and Mental Health Service offers support for you to talk in confidence about any problems such as homesickness, anxiety, depression, difficulties settling in or building relationships, etc. This wonderful service is ranked top 10 in the UK amongst all the other student services of such kind at the universities. And it's a first of its kind human university mental health ranking that's been introduced recently, and our wonderful team has achieved high scores in satisfaction, awareness, and also service provision and investment. So you will be well looked after. Let me see the next slide. So I did say that I want to touch on Changemaker Hub in a bit more detail, and that is because obviously university is a new and exciting chapter in your lives, and your degree is not just an investment, it's a stepping stone to achieving your dream career. And our employability team are dedicated to equipping you with the skills to thrive in this global, ever changing world. They've received a national award, overall winner for developing employability. Actually, let me press that. There we go. Bit of a guide of the Changemaker Hub. So they've received the national award for 2 years running and one award for top 20 university careers of the year. So you might not be aware, but Northampton is designated Global Changemaker Campus. It's one of only 50 in the world. So we believe that anyone can make a unique contribution to creating a better world, transforming life, and inspiring change. So Changemaker Hub is actually unique to Northampton, University of Northampton, and our specialist teams there provide our students with support that you need to fulfill your ambitions to change the world. And whether that may be start of a global movement, raising awareness about particular social injustice, starting your own social enterprise, for example, or your business, or expanding your existing business, whatever you have in mind, Changemaker Hub is the place for you. And what they do is they provide tailored career support to everyone. They give you invaluable tools such as mock interviews, self assessments, industry led events and webinars, personalized CV feedback, etc. And as a graduate of UON, once you finish your degree and graduate, you will have lifelong access support through Changemaker Hub. So you'll be able to access various different networking events, recruitment fairs, and still use that expert one-to-one advice about career development. On top of that as well, they run a fantastic employability plus award, which sort of incentivizes and rewards your investment in the change maker and employability activities that you take part of in outside of your course commitments, outside of your degree program. And it's sort of designed to give you a best possible start in gaining those employability skills and the graduate career that you dream about. So really is a fantastic benefit to you when you become our students. So right, a quick word to touch on the teaching model. As I already mentioned, we don't tend to focus on big lectures where you just fed the theory without any opportunities to implement that in the practice. So our teaching is very industry focused, very practical. We use technology to shift the focus onto development of those in-depth career practical skills, practical application of your knowledge and skills in different settings. So the discussions and seminars and practical workshops are playing an important role in learning process at UON. And the aim is to encourage you to develop the critical thinking skills as well as to learn by dealing hands-on with all those different challenges and issues that are impacting your subject areas. To that end, you will handle genuine industry-based consultancy projects, respond to industry briefs, often pitching to or hearing from high-level industry partners that we've got. And this makes your learning a lot more interesting and ensures that you are better prepared for employment once you graduated. Whichever course you're coming to study with us, our campus is equipped to the standard of that industry. And we have dedicated art and design studios, Bloomberg Finance Lab for finance and accounting and economics, Moot Room for law to practice those advocacy skills, Hydra Suite for criminology and investigation courses. We have STEM laboratories, purpose-built clinical ward and health skills suites, and many, many more. And in terms of assessment as well, so how you are assessed and graded on your course, many courses are assessed through 100% coursework, but some might have exams which can be worth up to 60% of your final module grade. So time constrained tests and exams are used on most professional and qualifying degrees such as law, accounting and finance, health courses, but also coursework assessment methods are very varied. So you've got essays, oral presentations, critical reviews, and reflective reports and blogs, pitches, individual and group project work. Design and creative courses might also have things like national competition work, portfolio creation and building, and product realization. Okay, moving on to student life. Social life is a huge part of Common University, of course, and many of you will make lifelong friends and make memories to last a lifetime, hopefully good memories. We house around 14,000 students, so we're not a huge university, but our student community is very, very diverse. We welcome approximately 3,000 international students at both undergraduate and postgraduate levels per academic year from somewhere around 140 countries globally. So this diverse student population has given you a true international experience. Think about all of the different cultures and traditions and languages you'll be exposed to during your student journey, and of course the networks you'll be able to build. Now, a great way to meet new people and start your university journey and explore your interests in the meantime is joining one or several of our sport clubs and societies. So we have 30 sport clubs and about 40 societies to choose from. You can join as many as you like, as I said, and here you don't have to pay to join or to play. So no splashing out on kits, no joining administration fees or anything like that. So it's all provided and managed by our fabulous student union. And if you'd like to have a look at the types of sport clubs and societies we offer, please click on that QR code that I've generated. So that should take you straight to the um, Northampton Student Union page, where you can view all the different societies and sport clubs you can join and read about them as well. So um, Varsity is it's a great annual inter-university sporting competition and sport awards that every year is sort of jam-packed with various different sport fixtures and entertainment across the day. So please do get involved in that. Um, and apart from that, Student Union runs a variety of social and entertainment events throughout the academic year. They also do certain trips out to explore the UK to keep you occupied. Many of you will, of course, be interested in joining a gym. We don't have a gym on campus, but we partner with Trilogy Leisure, which gives you a discount membership on all of the Northampton locations. So Cripps Recreational Centre is the nearest to campus, in about 5-minute walk, and it has the fully equipped gym classes and swimming pool facilities as well. Finally, with regards to working whilst you're studying, majority of the international students ask me that question. Yes, you are allowed to work part-time 20 hours per week, according to your student visa allowance. And a majority of our students do work, and they choose to do that to kind of earn some extra cash and also become a bit more financially independent, and also to just develop practical work skills. Um, this little service called Fish, on the subject of student life, um, they are an international student charity called Friendship International Students and Hosts, hence Fish. They offer friendship and hospitality for international students arriving to Northampton every year. They arrange various social events, evenings, and days out to give you opportunity to mix with the local community and also explore British traditions and locations a bit more. So, very good to get involved with them as well. On the subject of the part-time job, so as already mentioned, you can work part-time. It's actively encouraged by the university. And if you can see here, so these are the sort of types of jobs available on campus as well as sort of in the local community. So we've got our own recruitment agency for students called Unitemps. It provides flexible employment to current students and those graduate jobs, so first graduate jobs when you graduate as well. So please do have a look at their website. You can register uh, even before you arrive to view what sort of opportunities are available at the time. Around September time, we open recruitment for student ambassadors, and becoming student ambassador will help you develop a variety of valuable skills. I highly encourage that. You can develop your communication, presentation, leadership skills. You'll be employed as part of the events team, so you'll be assisting on open days, campus tours, other types of promotional events on and off campus. There's also some office work within marketing or international office even. So student ambassador kind of scheme is flexible and it works around your time schedule. So it's very convenient to fit around your studies. So it is a paid position, so that's of course a great news for your student budget. Linking nicely with the student budget, again, many of you ask this question, and I've put it together, kind of some general information. So, like a typical example of monthly student expenses. Now, that's not to say that this will be your your particular student expense. So it really does depend on your interests, on your spending patterns. But as a guide, this should give you an idea of what and how much you can budget for. So your rent will be your main expense, taking approximately 50% of your budget of your monthly outgoings. You can find a really nice private accommodation or university hall options for approximately £500 a month. This can vary up or down depending on location or type of accommodation. Food shopping and takeaways is the next big article in your budget. So approximately 20 to 25% of your monthly expenses. For some people, it might be even more. All depends on your individual eating habits. I mean, 50 to 75 pound a week is a reasonable student budget for groceries. And I mean, takeaways can be quite expensive, and I don't recommend splashing out a lot on those because that will empty your budget pretty quickly. So instead, I would advise stocking up in the nearby Morrison supermarket and cooking or batch cooking, depending on what your preferences are. So next article kind of grouped it all in one. So let's call it other personal expenses. So this could include various different things like gym, clothes, shopping, health and beauty, social social and outings and things like that. It's reasonable to budget for approximately £200 a month. I mean, again, this will vary on your individual spend. Finally, entertainment. So, of course, a couple of weekends a month, you might want to, treat yourself to go to the cinema, maybe a theatre or nightclub. So, roughly budget for around £50 and then adjust and modify depending on your personal preferences. So, overall, so the basic minimum student budget currently, I'd say about £1,000 a month. Okay, so I mean, the good thing about Northampton is that it can really make your money go further. It's been a smaller town. Cost of living is comparably cheaper. So currently, for example, UK Visa and Immigration Service kind of stipulates that a minimum uh, living expense for students studying outside of London is £1,023 a month. Northampton's overall cost of living for one is actually 30% cheaper than UK average and whopping 47% cheaper than London, which is only an hour away from us. So a much higher value for money. And this is a little bit of breakdown how we compare to London in terms of entertainment, transport, food bill, rent, etc. Now, I want to give this a bit more time. So next steps, so we're nearing the end of our presentation and we'll focus on that now. So this is sort of a representation of Northampton applicants' journey and deadlines. I mean, some deadlines are still to be confirmed, unfortunately, but let's run through that quickly. So you all will be at different stages on your applicant journey now, but hopefully all of you have completed the first step. So apply and get your when offer done. You've done that. Great. So some of you again would have completed the next step as well. Accept your when offer. Some might still be considering or other universities. So the rule of thumb is that if you apply through UCAS, then you would need to make your decision by the 8th of June. If you apply to us directly, then the general advice is that you make your decision on the offer within 1 month from the date of your offer. Again, that's not set in stone. So if you do need a little bit more time, just let me know and we can extend that for you, no problem. When I say accept your offer, that means that you actively go into the platform that you have applied through, so UCAS or your online portal, and click accept the offer. So That will sort of secure your acceptance, but to secure your place on the course or on the intake, you will also need to pay £7,000 deposits, and some of you have already done that. Well done. So I would say aim for no later than 1st of July. This may also be subject to earlier closure, so don't wait for the last minute. If you know that you want to come to Northampton, then do that. Complete this step, and then that's out of your way. Then you don't need to worry about it. Now, once you do that, you're open now. You're open to applying for halls of residence. So you can't actually apply for accommodation until you have cleared that deposit requirement. The accommodation has been open for about 2 months now, and because it's limited, it will run out at some point. What our accommodation team guarantees is that if you apply by the 20th of May, so that does mean that you would need to have submitted that deposit first. So if you apply for accommodation by the 20th of May, you are guaranteed accommodation in the halls. What they can't guarantee is your preferred choice. So at the point of application, you are asked to state 5 choices of accommodation, and they will allocate it in order of preference, and depending on the availability at the time. So the sooner you apply, the better it is for you, and the better chance you will have to secure your preferred accommodation. So once you have applied, you have about 2 weeks to get a room allocation. Sometimes it can be a bit longer depending on the time of year and whether the universities, there's any holidays, or people might be on leave. So it could be 2 to 3 weeks. So once you have your room offer, you will be given seven days deadline to accept your offer and pay £100, £150 refundable deposit. So that will be refunded to you at the end of your contract term, provided that you haven't damaged any of the halls. So hopefully then that would be the major ticks there. So you've accepted your offer, you've arranged your accommodation. So the next thing would be meeting your offer conditions. Again, some of you here might already have the unconditional offer. So for those of you, you don't need to worry about that step. So you will then move straight on to the CAS step. Now, those who are still waiting for their results, for their high school results or their IELTS test results, or a passport that they might have not provided, please aim to provide all those documents by the 1st of July if possible. I know that for some of you it's not possible because some of you might be studying A levels, and A level results are not coming up, not coming out until mid-August. So to some of you, these particular deadlines will not apply. We will still wait for your results, so please don't worry about those. So again, once you've met your conditions, you've provided all of your documents, you will then be moved to CAS stage. And CAS is the letter that you are required to provide for your visa application. That's a confirmation of acceptance for studies from the university. We are already issuing CASs to students who are unconditional, firm, and have paid their deposit. So some of you might have already heard from us. But some of you, again, that will be sort of closer to June, July time when you will receive your CAS. Now, whilst you're waiting for your CAS, it's a good practice to make sure that your financial requirements are in order. So you will need to make sure that you've got a bank account on your name or your parents' name that has the remaining tuition fee. So that's your tuition fee minus any scholarships you received, minus the deposit that you have paid, plus the the minimum living expenses of £9,207. That is described in your offer letter. So please make sure that you do read your offer letter thoroughly. So that amount needs to be on the bank account for 28 consecutive days before you can take the bank statement out. Again, some of you might not need to have that. So some of you might be sponsored by a particular organization, or are receiving sort of governmental student support. So those of you that are receiving that and have provided their confirmation of eligibility, you will not need to demonstrate that. All you need to demonstrate is the letter of eligibility for your student application. Hopefully, between June and mid-August is when you would apply for your student visa. So again, so you need to be unconditional, firm. You need to have secured your accommodation. You need to have paid your deposit, and you need to have received your CAS letter. So visa applications take anywhere between 4 to 5 weeks, depending on the time you're applying for. Mid-July to mid-September is the busiest time, so try to avoid it if you can. So if you can meet those conditions before and pay all the deposits and everything, then it is better for you. So once you've applied for visa, hopefully you receive the visa soon, you'll be able to go ahead and book your flights. So the teaching starts on the 25th of September, but we are inviting students to arrive earlier for the welcome week, which will start somewhere around mid-September. Exact date is still to be confirmed. We have a fantastic key dates page that you can consult, and hopefully that will be updated within the next couple of weeks, and that will tell you exactly when you need to be at the university, but aim for mid-September. Before you arrive, you will be sent a pre-enrollment instruction email, so you'll need to complete a pre-enrollment online, and that will happen around beginning of September. And then once you have arrived for the welcome week, you can book yourself onto the physical enrollment session as well. And that's it. So teaching starts on the 25th, and hopefully you can start enjoying your time at the university. So just a quick demonstration of how you go about things that we talked about. So paying your 7,000 deposit will be through your online portal. So hopefully some of you or all of you have already seen that layout. So this is your student online portal. So that button over there in the bottom circled deposits prepayment action required. So you need to click on that, and that will take you to the next page where you can see the amount that you've paid or not paid and payment options. There's also the information about the university bank account. Now, once you've done that, you will receive an automatic email about the accommodation application. So you just need to click apply now, and that will take you to accommodation portal. Hopefully you've already viewed the types of accommodation that we offer. We've got 3 sites, and we offer about 2,500 spaces across those 3 sites. So waterside campuses, on campus town centres, right in the middle of the town centre, about 10-minute walk from the campus. And Scholars Green is the one that is about 30-minute bus ride on the university bus. So the budget and the prices depend on the location, the type of accommodation. So we've got flats and houses and studio flats and twin flats. So really just explore the option. Make sure that you have a look through the accommodation page on the website and checked out all the specifics and matched it to your budget. You are also allowed to live privately. However, when you're choosing a private accommodation, you must live no further than 40 miles radius or 1 hour traveling distance door to door as the recommended guideline. So this is just a QR code that you can use to access the um, accommodation tour, and this is what a typical accommodation looks like. So everything you need as a student: bed, desk, wardrobe, a bathroom, and some storage space. Now, requesting your CAS. So once your record is ready, once you've met all the conditions, you will receive this particular email asking you to request your CAS. So you will need to actually actively request the CAS to be issued one. So after you've requested the CAS, you will have the CAS request action. So no, to request the CAS, you will need to go onto CAS request action required button, complete the little form there, and then your draft CAS will be sent through to you on the portal. You'll need to check it and approve it, and then the final CAS letter will also be uploaded on your portal once it's ready. Okay, so I think this is pretty much it in terms of the practical information. The one thing that we do advise is that you follow us on social media, because a lot of important updates are available on there. TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, we've got it all. And there's also useful applicant groups on our Facebook. So if you search for UON applicant groups 23, it should come up. So you'll be able to request access and get approved to that. So you can already start making friends before you arrive and keep an eye on any university news through that. There are also useful virtual events that university is putting up. So please scan to access this page. You can see what types of events you can join. There's some living room lectures on various subject areas. Perhaps there's some on the subject area that you're coming to join, or just some useful practical workshops that you could explore whilst you're waiting to join the university. So I hope this was helpful. This is me. This is my email address and WhatsApp. So please don't hesitate, drop in anything in here. But yes, can you please explain what is a credibility interview? That's a great question. I have forgotten to mention that. So some of you who have already paid your deposit may be required to attend a credibility interview. That is done on the individual assessment. So the admissions team would have assessed your qualifications, your documents, and other criteria, and they may have deemed that you need to attend a credibility interview. It will be myself that you will be interviewing with. It's a 30-minute interview with a series of questions that I will be asking, um, uh, to deem whether you are a credible student. So sometimes the credibility interview also assesses the level of English. So for some students who say used previous qualifications such as GCSEs to meet our entry criteria, I might still need to confirm the level of English is okay for the entry of our undergraduate degree. So it's nothing to worry about. It is a formality, but please do prepare for it. So research your course that you're coming to study, research the university, because there will be questions that I will be asking about those kind of topics. So I think there's 13 questions, and it will be on sort of pass fail sort of mode. But like I said, don't worry too much. It's going to be quite informal, and it will be me that will be interviewing you. If you are required to attend the interview, you will be emailed by myself. I will send you an email to invite you for the interview. I'll give you the time and a date, and also the link, the virtual link to attend. Okay. I hope this was clear. If not, please do add something else in the chat. I'm just monitoring the chat, so please do post some questions in there whilst we have time. For students who will be accommodated off campus, what will be the procedure? It will be very, very similar. You don't need to. Let's go back to the page about the journey. So you will still need to complete everything in terms of your offer. So meet your offer criteria, offer requirements, and where are we? Oh, there we go. So meet your offer requirements, accept your offer. So all you do is you skip the accommodation stage. Um, you don't need to worry about that. And you just focus on your offer, making sure that the offer conditions are met, and request your CAS when the time comes. There's also obviously possibly a difference. Well, again, I'm not sure the individual circumstances, but you will be uh, you will be required to book an enrollment session like everyone else. So you'd have to come in on campus before you start your studies, and you'll have to enroll physically. Essentially, the thing that you skip is the kind of accommodation moving in date. So you don't need to worry about that. But everything else is just as a standard student. So you'll need to just making sure that you're following all the instructions that are sent to you by the university, completing all of the required steps by the deadlines. Okay, I hope this was clear. Is credibility interview required for unconditional offer holders? Yes, some unconditional offer holders will be required to attend the interview. Again, by now you would have heard from me. Um, it depends on whether you've paid the deposit. So if you've paid the deposit, if you paid a deposit and you are unconditional, you may be required to attend the interview. However, a rule of thumb is if you have applied directly to us, then yes. If you have applied via an agent or an individual or an educational consultancy, and again, in turn, they might be using their agent portal, or they may be applying through UCAS for you. Um, y- those types of students will not be required to attend a credibility interview. Okay, you're welcome. Anyone else for questions? I know we said we're going to finish at 4, but I'm here. I'm not in a rush. So if anyone wants to ask anything, please do. I'm still broadcasting until I know for sure there are no questions. I'll wait a couple of seconds to see. What about the scholarships? Right, great question. Scholarships. So majority of you would have had scholarships included in the offer letter. So you might not necessarily, if you've applied through UCAS, you might not have seen the scholarship in your UCAS offer. However, even the UCAS applicants would have received the separate university offer. It's a PDF document that details all of the information about the fees and the instructions. So you would have seen that. And in that offer letter, you would have seen the level of scholarship that you will be awarded. Um, if the offer is unconditional, then this is the final offer, including the final scholarship. If the offer is conditional, it may be that we will review the scholarship when you have submitted your results. Um, if you think that you haven't received any scholarships, contact me individually, and I will look into your individual offers and confirm whether or not you can be awarded a scholarship. Okay, so just go back to the screen. Where are we? Going back to the screen with my details. So where are we? Here we go. There we go. So screen with my details. So drop me a message or an email, and I will have a look in your individual scholarship situation. Can you please explain the help we will get for the visa again? Okay, so if you are not, as I said, if you're not using if you're not using any help like an outside of university, there's sometimes there are education consultancies that students apply to us through, depending on where you are. If you are a direct applicant and applying yourself on your own volition, so we've got an international student support team that can guide you through the process. Their details are available on the website. They've got an email address you can contact. You can even, I imagine, book a virtual consultation with them if you need. But if you need me to drop you the contact details, then just contact me again after the webinar. Contact me and I will respond to everybody with all the different queries. Follow up for credibility. Does apply to regional office count? Okay, so regional office, yes. If you apply through a regional office, you might still be required to attend an interview. I think that will depend on your individual circumstances. Um, so the best thing would be, I mean, I don't know which country you would have come from um, to be applying through regional office. I mean, the regions that I cover, we don't have regional offices. But in in the regions that do have regional offices, again, you should be contacted. If you required one, you will be contacted by the university or the university representative or the regional office representative to invite you for an interview. Um, so please just make sure you check in your emails and responding to all university emails that you're receiving that require response, of course. Okay. Also, are there any transportations provided for international students for travel to the uni? Unfortunately, not. We do not provide the transportation for international students to travel to the uni. I mean, I'm assuming you're talking about arrival, your arrival sort of from Heathrow Airport to the campus. We don't. So we encourage that you make sure that you familiarize yourselves with the mode of travel available. So as I said, taxis, bus coach, or train would be your typical three forms of transport. But whilst you're with us, studying with us, you are obviously allowed to use buses, which are university buses, as long as you have your student card on you, you'll be able to get on the bus and travel around Northampton to where you need to get to. You usually traveling between university facilities is free. So, for example, students who are staying in Scholars Green village, arrival. Okay, well, just to cover this anyway, so any of you that will be staying in Scholars Green Village can get a free transportation from the university. But in terms of arrival, yes, when you arrive to London Heathrow, you will need to arrange your own transport. And as I said, the cheapest mode of transport would be public transport. So National Express coaches or National Rail would be the preferred mode of travel. Unfortunately, I can't post any links in this chat. It just doesn't let me. So if you need some further information on directing or signposting to all the different websites like National Rail or National Express, again, just drop me a message or an email, and I will provide that information individually. Okay. Any other questions that I missed? Scholarships, credibility interviews? No, I think that's it. Is that all the questions that you wanted to ask, guys? If that is, then I will bid you adieu. And I hope to hear from you soon. Okay, thank you. Yes, thank you, everybody. Thank you for being here, for your time. I hope this session was helpful. Thank you for the. That's lovely. Thank you very much. I'm glad to hear that it's helpful to you. And as I said, I'm here to help with anything you still might need. Yeah, let's keep in touch. Thank you on behalf of us all. Great. Right. So I'm just gonna. You're welcome. Welcome everybody. I'm just gonna stop broadcasting now and follow the instruction Kate is sending me here. So you all are welcome to log out now and yeah, speak soon. Finished hosting and click on the here the same was saying the live stream has ended. Okay, bye bye now. Stop broadcasting.